Shrutismritipurāṇānaṁ ālayam karuṇālayam namāmi bhagavатpādam Shankaram logashankaram Shankaram Shankarācāryam Keshavam Bhatarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryanta Vande Guru Parampara Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Beda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Gukaro Anthakaro Vai Rukarastan Anthakara Nirodhitvat Guru Ritya Vidhiyate Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Om Bhadram Karne Vishruniyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshiviryachatraha Sthirairangai Sushtuvam Sastanupihi Veshema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swastina Indro Vrittashravah Swastina Pusha Vishyavedaha Swastina Stakshu Arishthanehi Swastino Brihaspati'r Dathatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, we are in the Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad, second section, and the kārikā number is, let me check the kārikā number. Kārikā number is 21. Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad is one of the Upanishads among the 10 Upanishads which was been commented by Adi Shankara. Adi Shankara written the commentary. That's why we are able to understand the Upanishad as it is. Commentary is being praised by the traditional teachers due to its light language. At the same time, the deep meaning is being highlighted. In the simple way, if I say, Prasanna Gambhiram, the words are very simple. If you study Sanskrit, it seems to be very simple. But the subject matter is revealed completely in its ultimate way. That is why we are also studying according to its commentary. But for these few verses, Adi Shankara didn't comment anything. He just bypassed, because nothing to say regarding these verses for the seekers. They already know that. But we should know. We already saw few verses. The supreme reality, which is called Atman, one's own self, or Brahman, who is all-pervading, which is available for a seeker who is committed. That supreme reality which is in the form of consciousness, which is in the form of eternal, which is in the form of unlimited happiness. This being so, this ultimate truth is being misinterpreted, or they missed to see the full vision of this ultimate reality. And they witnessed some part of this ultimate reality through their meditation, through their sacrifices, through their prayers. And they got some partial vision regarding the ultimate reality. And they thought that this part is the ultimate reality. And they propagated, they made to swallow this idea by their followers. And they also believe that this ultimate reality is what my teacher says. And they believed on. On the time of Gaudapada Acharya, as I told you before 2 classes, there were different schools of thoughts. One who believed that ultimate reality is other than this consciousness. And they got all these ideas from scriptures also. From the Vedas, from other scriptures connected to Vedas, and they propagated these schools of thoughts. So, ultimate reality is being misinterpreted, and people carried those ideas which are wrong, and generation after generation, it became like the blinds following a blind. Antheneva niyamanaha antaha. In one of the Upanishad, this beautiful sentence is there. When you don't see the reality, and you got some ideas about the reality which is incomplete, but you believe the person who conveyed to you, so that you will also believe that reality is this. Our goal is this, because my teacher conveyed this, and this message is carried by the follower or the disciple. And generation after generation, this wrong message got extended in different ways. That is why Acharya Gaudapada, in his kārikā, he quoted different schools of thoughts or different sages who missed to see the ultimate reality, which is the consciousness. And they got some ideas which are partially true and which are being based upon the scriptures. I already mentioned you in the last classes, still I make you to remind you. Still I remind you. Vedas have 2 sections. One is the ritualistic portion, we call it Karma Kanda. The second section is Jnana Kanda, the portion of knowledge. And in the portion of knowledge, there is a portion or verses which are quoted for upasanas, meditations, or such as prayers. The ultimate reality is being presented in some other forms or some other things. That portion is not talking about the ultimate reality. It is only for the sake of meditation or for prayers. Because mind is familiar with the names and forms. Any ordinary person who approaches this portion of knowledge needs some name and form for the sake of meditation, to take away the impurities from the mind, to get a stable mind to focus on the reality. Those sections have a lot of verses talking about that reality got the form in this way. And that is only for the sake of meditation or for prayers. You cannot take that verses as ultimate reality, presenting the ultimate reality. Those verses are presenting the ultimate reality, which is absolutely wrong. This is happened here. Those verses which are presented in the scriptures and the connected books, which talks about the ultimate reality, is in this form. It's only for the meditation. One cannot get confused in those verses. If you study a real traditional teacher, he will convey these teachings in a proper way. Which verses are for the sake of meditation and prayers and for doing any other disciplines or chanting, it have its own results. One will take away all kinds of impurities accumulated inside the mind in the form of attachments, in the form of misideas regarding oneself, like I am this body, I born in a familiar caste, I born in this country, my body has some limitations. All these ideas will be burnt by those meditations or prayers. For the sake of that only, all these verses are sent. But we need to say that very big scholars like Vatsyayana, Bodhayana, Kapila, lot of rishis, they misinterpreted, they misconcluded that these ideas regarding the ultimate reality is this, which verses quoted in the section of meditations or praise. Vedanta, the portion of knowledge, talks about the ultimate reality. And also there is a session where it talks about meditation, prayers, and other disciplines. From that section, they quoted all these verses. To justify their thought or vision, they took all these verses and they conveyed to their disciples that ultimate reality is this, which is absolutely wrong. Other than consciousness, that unlimited consciousness, which is eternal, which is also in the form of unlimited happiness, other than this consciousness, they got some names and forms. That is being explained from the last class onwards. Now, I will give a brief explanation regarding the last class so that it will be helpful for the continuity. The last class we studied Pranaha iti pranavitaha, Bhutani iti cha tatvitaha, Gunaha iti cha gunavitaha, Tattvani iti cha tatvitaha. Few people, scholars, or some rishis, some sages, propelled. They taught their disciples that the vital force is the ultimate reality, which is absolutely wrong. I explained you in the last class. I'm not going more deep. And others, few others taught Bhutani, the five elements except space, the four elements are the ultimate reality of the creation. One needs to reach that ultimate reality is these four elements. Fire, water, earth, and Akasha, Vayu, Prithvi, Agni, Jala. Vital force, fire, water, and earth are the ultimate reality, so that one needs to pray on that, one needs to reach that ultimate reality. There are systematic studies on this. There is a method on this madness, Already they misjudged the reality, and they kept a lot of scriptures to study about their vision. It is always there, everywhere it is available, even now, Somebody will have a wrong idea and he will write a book on this wrong idea. There will be an agenda to convert the mentality of the people into what they want, so that, that is why nowadays medias are used for that, movies are used for that. The total history is usurped and they present as it's in their own way, Gunaha iti cha gunavitaha. Few people think that the three qualities, sattva, raja, tamo, gunaha, are the ultimate reality behind the creation. And tattvani ijata tadvida. Few people think that Brahma, Maya, Shiva, or any other deity, it can be Jesus, it can be Allah, anything. This is the ultimate reality behind the creation. All these people are not ordinary people. They have done a lot of meditation. They have done a lot of disciplines and sacrifices in their life, and they got all this idea. We will say it is not completely wrong. It is partially true. It is not completely true. When we say gunani, means the three qualities are imposed on the ultimate reality, on the self. We cannot deny completely the gunanis are not ultimate reality. The gunani are the qualities are superimposed on the reality. So qualities are nothing but the reality only. When you see a snake, fake snake on the darkness, the snake is nothing but the rope only. Similarly, the qualities are nothing but the reality self only. But they missed this. Okay. Now, today, we will see another set of partial visions and there are schools of thoughts. A group of people are concentrated on these things. We will see that. Padaha iti cha padavitaha. There is no cha. Padaha iti padavitaha. Vishayaha iti cha tadvitaha. Lokaha iti cha lokavitaha. Devaha iti cha tadvitaha. I will read once more, 21st verse. Padaha iti cha padavitaha. Vishayaha iti cha tadvitaha. Lokaha iti cha lokavitaha. Devaha iti cha tadvitaha. Padaha, the quarters. Another group of people. One who believe the scriptures are fundamental. From the scriptures itself, they got some idea. They got some idea. Vedas are called the fundamental scriptures, and from there they got the idea. They think that quarters, padaha, in the Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad, an Upanishad which presents the self and the supreme reality is one and the same. Like the ocean and the dewdrop are one and the same from the ultimate standpoint of water. Similarly, the jiva which is obtaining inside the body and the cosmic power which is obtaining in the universe are one and the same from the standpoint of consciousness. This is the topic of Upanishads. But there are portions in the Upanishad which talks about meditations, prayers on this ultimate reality converting to a name and form. In one of the Upanishad, which is called Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad, the Atman is being presented in 4 quarters by the Guru of Satyakama. Prakashavan, Anandavan, Jyotishman, Ayatanavan. These are the 4 quarters. And in Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad also there are 4 quarters, which are in the form of waking state, dream state, deep sleep state, and Turiya state. Vishwa Taijasa Prajna Turyam. Of course, Gaudapada is not referring the Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad quarters. He is pointing group of people on his time concluded the ultimate reality is in the form of 4 quarters. Prakashavan, Jyotishman, Anandavan, Ayatanavan. From there they got this idea from the Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad itself. That is the biggest problem, They believe Upanishads and Vedas and those ideas which are presented in the Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad itself. But the only thing is that those portions are meant for meditation. The supreme reality is converted into some other forms so that the mind, an ordinary mind, can easily grasp the ideas. Thus, a group of people. There are rishis, certain rishis, assumed, and they got some ideas. These four quarters are the supreme reality. If you meditate and you have to attain these four quarters, this human birth is meant to reach those quarters. This is the idea by Padaha Ijita Padavida. The knowers of the quarters propelled the idea to another generation. They got this idea from one of the sage. It may be Bodhayana or whoever it may be. One serious thinker who believe Upanishadic ideas are the ultimate reality. Those ideas are meant for meditation. Upanishad have only one clinching topic. The consciousness which is appearing inside the body and the consciousness which is called cosmic or pervading everywhere other than this body are one and the same. Jiva, Ishvara, Ekatva, Jnanam is the topic of Upanishad. All other ideas are only for the sake of cleaning the mind. Chitta Mala Nivrityartham. That is why Padaha Idicha Padavidaha. Those people who believe that the quarters are the ultimate reality. Another group of people. We already saw in the Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad, people who believe the sense organs are extroverted, or the Lord has created the man or woman keeping the senses looking outside. It means that the entire world is to be enjoyed. And lot of things are there to enjoy. If we miss to enjoy, your birth is a waste idea. This is what they propagate. Vishayaha. Vatsayana. A sage called Vatsayana, who wrote an epic book called Kama Sutra, talking about the main topic is sex. And he wrote completely to whom you have to marry, when to have child, what are the postures to mate. Different things are there. Even though he is a rishi, he is centered on the topic called object. We are here to enjoy the world. And people carried according to their mindset, which is suitable for them. And the reality is missed by them. Objects are also the self or Brahman. But supreme reality is not to enjoy the object. Bhranti nimittam eva vishayanandam. When you have confusion, You are an enjoyer. You need to enjoy different things in the world. Your mind is not satisfied. The largest enjoyment in the world is called sex. That is why this Rishi wrote a book called Kama Sutra. It's world famous. A male is attracted to female. A female is attracted to male by the natural instinct. Any natural instinct is due to confusion. Taking the support of the traditional teacher, you can come out of any natural instinct. Jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurude. If you are committed towards the right knowledge, who you are, your attachment towards the worldly things get burnt. This is the ultimate teaching. This being so, Vatsayana and others missed the reality. They taught or they propagated that object, enjoying the object is the ultimate reality. That is why Vishayaha, they have some firm opinion regarding this, then why the organs are looking outward? If the objects are not the goal, why should the Creator kept our organs looking outward, external? So they match. Organs are looking outward, and we have attraction, and it is also so much attractive, and we need to enjoy. So these opinions of them completely match with their ideas, Organs are outward, not to do what we want, to do what is proper and appropriate, and to reach the goal. So come to the point, there are people like Vatsayana, it's a sage, who concluded that enjoying the objects are the ultimate goal. And there are Charvakas also, materialists, who think yavat jivam sukham jivet. Till the last moment, you need to enjoy with your sense organs. So be happy and do what you want, because only one time in your life you will get a birth. So till the last moment, be with the person who love or who is connected with you. Enjoy the life. When you are everything for the knower of truth, there is no connection or there is no disconnection. When the person is separated, there is no disconnection. When the person is near, there is no connection. Everything is one and the same Brahman. But for them, you need to enjoy. And we have a beautiful topic in the Taittiriya Upanishad, Ananda Mimamsa, inquiry on the happiness of objects and the inquiry about the happiness of oneself. They are being compared in the Āṇḍa Mīmamsa. And it's only a small drop of happiness when we compare ourselves, when we have the ocean of happiness. People miss to see the ocean of happiness within oneself. Nirvishaya Ananta Avapti is the, in spite of all objects, one will be completely happy. And it's not the happy which you gain through enjoying an object. Of course, everybody has some prarabdha. Even though if you don't want, you have to go through that. Whether it is enjoyment or whether it is pain, you cannot avoid. That is your prarabdha, anyecha prarabdha, for the sake of others, for the sake of somebody who love. That's something different. But in real, Vishayanandam is a mis-idea regarding that Vishayas are the ultimate topic, ultimate goal. So, few people believed and they also propagated, and this idea is there all over the world. If you tell to somebody, be strict in your food, don't kill animals, don't kill birds, you have a lot of things to eat, roots and vegetables. You can cook in a nice way and eat. For what purpose these birds and animals are there right in front of human being? Only to kill and eat. This will be their opinion, you know. That means this idea is everywhere now. Vishayaha idija tadvidaha. Those people believe to enjoy the object is the ultimate goal. They also there on the time of Gaudapada, and it will be there till the world last. Now, another set of people who believes Logaha iticha loga vidaha. People who believe if I kill a person other than my religion, I will reach heaven. These type of beliefs are there even now. That is why we have terrorists around the world. Ideal worshippers are to be killed so that I can reach heaven. So there are people who believe there is a heaven and I can reach the heaven. Lokaha means places or heaven-like places, you know. There are Kailasam, where the Shiva and his group live or adore, where they thrive, you know. Where the Shiva is sitting in the kingdom and others will be there around him. Or Vaikundam, a place where the Vishnu resides, inside the ocean of milk. In the coiled desert, he lays down. Lord Vishnu or any other deity, maybe Jesus, who believe heaven. There are people all around the world that they want to go to the other world where more enjoyment and more peace and calm. It means that they are not satisfied in this world. In spite of all these trees, stars, sun, river, still they are not satisfied. They want to reach some other world by doing certain things here so that they will be happy. more satisfaction and more peace will be there. This is called Logavidaha, who believe, strongly believe. There are worlds like Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tabaha, Satyam. Our upper world, Bhulokam, Bhuvarlokam, etc. After doing certain things here, they can reach there. Nothing wrong on that. According to their beliefs, one will reach to the destination. But it is not the higher goal. It's not the highest goal. It's not the goal of every human being. Remember, all these are misinterpreted ideas regarding the ultimate reality. Already Gaudapada Acharya told that a rope which is inside the dark room can be misinterpreted like a stick or like a snake. Even if you keep some noise of a water nearby and put some paint, that white rope seems to be a stream of water. In any way, imaginations can happen according to one's own mindset, according to one's own qualification, according to one's own vision, according to one's own meditation. Lot of factors are there to see the highest reality. When the person's mindset is not so clear, they believe in some other things. According to the person's discipline or meditation is not complete, they can reach in some other way, other places, Terrorists believe that the whole world should believe in one religion. If the person don't believe in my religion, he can be killed. I have the license to kill because my scriptures allow. That is why they put bomb in the public. They kill innocent people. They attack where the people are gathering. Why? They will reach heaven. They believe that. That is why Logavidaha is also important. It is there everywhere. Logaha iti Logavidaha. Now another group of people, school of thoughts. Many people believe even now, Devaha iti cha Tadvidaha. Deities which are being told in the Vedas, fire, air, the Lord of ocean, Varunaha, Indraha, the Lord of Devas. Like these, there are people in the scriptures. They are almighty. They have more strength than human being. And they are devas, self-effulgent beings, extra superficial beings. And they are the masters of this creation, and one should reach there. This is called Devata Upasana. You get some extra power while you are living here itself by meditating upon them, and you will reach near to them in their world. And there you will enjoy the world more than what you enjoy here. So people believe to reaching their world near to them. Indra, Marut, Brihaspati, Varuna, etc., etc. Lots and lots of deities are being listed in the Vedas who have extra power and they can bless us when living in the world. But these are all ideas which are away from the ultimate idea, ultimate reality. That is why Gaudapada Acharya listed that people who believe deities as their supreme reality, which is not true. I will come how to condemn all these ideas. When we say padaha iti padavidaha, supreme reality is one. It is not divided into 2 or 3 or 4. How can be? It can be quarters, 4 parts. When the supreme reality is one, how will you assume? How will you imagine? Supreme reality is in 4 quarters. And also, after one pada only we will get the second pada. So, the one and only consciousness cannot appear in 4 quarters, which is non-separate. Vishayas, which are names and forms. The supreme reality is formless. How can be the ultimate reality is in the form of objects? Lokaha, reaching somewhere is an absolute fun. Because something which is all pervading, you can attain right now. Why should you go there to reach? You know, there is a river called Kaveri in South India. A very beautiful river. Starts from a place called Talai Kaveri in South India. And it will reach Sri Rangam in the Tamil Nadu. Talai Kaveri is in Karnataka and it flows toward Tamil Nadu and it will reach Sri Rangam. It is Trichy. Very beautiful river, very beautiful water. And people say one dip in this Kaveri will bring lot of blessings. Do you think the people who live in the origin of this river will go to Trichy where the river appears again by flowing to take a dip? No, no need of that. The people who live where the river originates can take a dip there itself. They need not to travel to Srirangam or Trichy to take a dip. Similarly, when the reality can be attained here self, studying under a proper traditional teacher, why should you go to different worlds and different deities to get ultimate reality or unlimited happiness? These are all confused ideas. One should be aware of that. That's why Gaudapada presented all these things. Another thing, another verse now. Vedaha iti cha vedavitaha, yajnaha iti cha tadvitaha, bhokta iti cha bhoktrivitaha, bhojyam iti cha tadvitaha. I will read once more. Vedaha iti cha vedavitaha, yajnaha iti cha tadvitaha, bhokta iti cha bhoktrivitaha, bhojyam iti cha tadvitaha. Vedaha iti cha Vedaha. Scriptures, studying and performing rituals and live according to the scriptures discipline, those disciplines which are quoted in the scriptures, is the ultimate reality. This is being propagated by a group of hey, those who believe, those who live in the forest, some tribes, or somebody who is not away from India. How can you present them supreme reality is studying the scriptures and doing the rituals? No. This is an idea which is absolutely wrong. But there are people. You need not to study any Vedas. You need not to study any scriptures. But you should know that you are the supreme reality from the standpoint of intrinsic nature. From the standpoint of Sarupa, one's own essence. The body is a superimposition in one's own essence. What is the essence of this body and the world? That is the consciousness. You study this fact from a traditional teacher. You need not to study the entire Vedas in order to know who are you. But few people think that ultimate reality is to study all these scriptures. Remember, human being is loaded with an extraordinary brain. If you want to study the entire scriptures, it is possible. But that doesn't mean that it is the highest reality. Highest reality is not to study the entire Vedas. You should know, I am not human being, but I am the ultimate reality called supreme consciousness. Of course, it is presented in the last portion of Vedas. Suppose if you don't have the time to study the entire Vedas, at least one should get the time to study one or two Upanishads. If a person is matured, a person can understand what is told there, and he can live a life according to the ideas he got from there. The fact is, the body is not anything which is real. Body is an unreal phenomenon imposed on the consciousness. This consciousness is the supreme reality, and my body notion gets sublimated while living. Even though I see the body, even though I react according to the body, it's all sublimation. After knowing there is no sunset, you enjoy the sunrise or sunset. This is called sublimation. For this, you need not to study the entire Vedas in your life. Of course, studying Vedas is a beautiful karma. It talks about the entire things in the world. It's not something, a scripture written by somebody, it is apaurushayam. There is no author for Vedas. Vedas are verses which are being foreseen by our sages. They got the ideas from the atmosphere, and these mantras were there in the atmosphere. One who do severe penances, meditations, they get the idea and they listed all these verses and the meaning. And their name will be there, mantra drishta, one who saw this mantra. That's all. It is not a book who is having an author. So studying Vedas is something, an extraordinary work in one's life. But it doesn't mean that it is the ultimate reality. But people used to believe that Vedaha idija Veda Vidaha. Now, another group of people, Yajnaha idija Tadvidaha. In the Vedas, 88 portion is karma kanda, ritualistic portion. Different types of rituals are listed. And many of the rishis, sages, concentrated to study the ritual. What are the materials to be collected? How the ritual should be performed? In which date? What is the exact time? Which stars should be together to do this ritual? Like these minute things are being analyzed, and precisely they have done all these things. Then only you will get that appropriate result. Collect the raw materials, make some liquid like somarasam. Few things you will get only from mountains, few things you will get only from the sea. You collect the exact thing and do the ritual, and you will get the desired result. And the entire karma kanta is to be performed daily by the people who study Vedas. Vedas are nothing, they are to be done. After studying, we have to do. Just like you got a recipe of making some extraordinary pizza, and you read the recipe and you make the pizza. Similarly, after studying Vedas, you have to perform the rituals. Amnayasya kriyarthatvat. The entire Veda is talking or centered on one single point. One need to do everything you have studied from the Vedas. Something very unusual by the people. These philosophers, great thinkers, scholars, think that Vedas are nothing. They are to be performed through sacrifices. This is their thoughts. These are the thoughts and propagated by them. Yajnaha, rituals are to be performed daily too, and rituals are the ultimate goal. Yajna means ritual. And you have to study the ritual and you have to perform, which is impractical. There is a ritual called kārikā. A ritual you can do in a particular place where there is no rain for last 20 years. This kārikā ritual, if you do in that particular place, you will get rain immediately after the ritual. Where there is rain almost every day round of year, like a place called Cherrapunji in India. 320 days you will get rain. What is the point of doing this kārikā ritual? So impractical. All the rituals to be done in the Vedas. Another ritual, Putra Kameshti Yaga. Those couple who are lacking their next generation, who don't have babies, if they do this ritual, after this ritual, immediately they will get the exact baby what they want. Suppose a person who is having 12 babies, what is the point of doing this Putra Kameshti? Impractical. So, Vedas are filled with rituals for different people, not for everybody to be done everything. So if you study under a proper teacher, you will get the entire idea of the Vedas. With respect, we study everything, what is to be taken, what is to be done, what is the supreme goal, everything is there. And another group, Bhoktaha idija Bhoktrividaha, enjoyer. Much less similar to Vishayaha. Like. This is pointing towards Sankhya. A Kapila, the sage Kapila has propagated this school of philosophy. You know, Sankhya people believe that every living being, Purusha, is an enjoyer. One needs to go through all kinds of enjoyments, and at last you will get emancipation, moksha by through Prakriti only. A big philosophy on the time of Gaudapada, and people believed that Prakriti and Purusha, two creators behind this world, and Purusha is an enjoyer. Get connected with the Prakriti. It goes on. So the pointing towards them, it's also an impractical vision, a misunderstanding regarding the ultimate reality. And another group of people think that Bhojyam idija tadvidaha. Food is the ultimate reality. Or prana, where Bhojyam is prana, it is told. Because without food, there is no survival for anybody in this world. The Lord is in the form of food. So you eat food and respect food and propagate that food is the ultimate reality. There were people who thought that the prana, the vital force, or the food, bhojya, is the ultimate reality. And we need to plant certain plants for the next generation. What we have eaten came from the previous generation, so that there are some rituals and ceremonies for them. Being the food is the center of their topic, there are a lot of things to be done while living in the world regarding food, bhojya. Remember, all these ideas are wrong regarding the ultimate reality. We are talking about different people who got different ideas regarding the ultimate reality, and they propagated, and the whole world is in confusion. Not everybody will reach to the ultimate reality, but few people who are blessed and who are right in the track will reach the ultimate reality through the ultimate traditional teachers. We will look into this topic more in the next class. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayandam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Gobrahmanibhya Shupamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshadu Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasya Shalini Deshoyam Kshobarahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Sarve Bhavantu Suginaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om